A crews searching for bodies in the rubble of a collapsed garment factory in Bangladesh were shocked today to find a survivor. Recovery teams discovered a seamstress who'd been trapped for 17 days in what had been the basement of the 8-story building. She says she survived on dried fruit and bottled water, but never thought she'd make it out alive. Doctors say the woman is doing well, her survivor, providing a rare moment of hope in the midst of tragedy. More than 1,000 bodies have been recovered from the rubble so far. Gary Fu is the search and rescue chief for ERT Search and Rescue. Gary, how unusual is it to find somebody after this amount of time, 17 days?
It's extremely unusual. In Haiti and Pakistan, we normally demobilize and start going into a relief operation. We don't expect after maybe a week to be finding anyone. 2 weeks is very rare. Haiti, we had one after 11 days. 17 days is inspirational. Wonderful news.
Based on the experience that you've had in the past, are you able to describe in any way what her ordeal may have been like during those 17 days?
Yes, I mean, you know, from speaking to the accounts of others, very fortunately she wasn't injured, so we didn't have the usual injuries to deal with, any orthopedic injuries, hemorrhaging, even the crush injuries of having something heavy on top of you. But of course she was without any associated company, which and if there were people around her that were dying, that was horrible. But she had air. It was compromised, but she had some air, and she had found herself, as I understand, in what we call a lean-to void area.
This is two pieces of concrete, perhaps, that were leaning against each other,
normally
creating a cavity that she was able to be sheltered within.
Yes, so she would have been in that space with some air, maybe dusty, maybe compromised, but still able to breathe. And she had some water, which, albeit ran out just recently, sustained her for 2 weeks, which was wonderful.
Just because someone is rescued, however, it's not necessarily a guarantee that they're going to survive their ordeal. There are certain conditions that come from having been confined for that amount of time that lead to, at least in one case, kidney failure.
Yes, rhabdomyolysis and crush injuries often do that, where everything that's compressed on your body is lifted off, and all the toxins that have built up allows it to recirculate into the body, and is often obviously quite harmful to the person. And in this case, I understand that that isn't the concern, but obviously there's she would be relieved, but there are the mental scars. But so far, she seems to have done quite well.
After 17 days, this woman has been rescued. Does this give crews hope that there may be others who may be able to be rescued after this amount of time as well? For
sure. I mean, as I understand it, this was the absolute turning point for going into a relief operation and expecting, sadly, more bodies. So this would give hope. It would give hope from all the people that were there that there may be some more. It's very unusual at this time, going into 17 days to find someone else. It's extremely unusual to find them alive. But as we see here, and as we've seen in other incidents, as long as they've got some air, some water, maybe some food, they may last a little longer. But it's obviously the skill of the rescuers too, like in this case, the gentleman who was rescuing, or rather moving the rubble pile and hearing her screams. So fortunate that she was also awake and able to call out for help.
I can only imagine what that has as an impact on the crews that have been searching for so many days. In just a couple of words, how would you describe that?
It's inspirational. It gives you energy. It gives you a reason for why you're there doing that. It's amazing. Nothing more motivating. When you're there on the other side of the wall, you can hear them banging. You just start working harder and harder.
Success story today, some calling a miracle in Bangladesh. Gary Fu, Search and Rescue Chief for ERT Search and Rescue. Thanks a lot, Gary. Thanks for coming in to talk to us.